everyone, and welcome back to the Adventures in Collecting YouTube channel, where we take a closer look at the toys we talk about on the show. And today, we are back again with another look at a figure from Bluefin Brands, our friends over at Bandai Namco Collectibles. Today, we are taking a look at the strongest Avenger, my favorite Avenger. We're taking a look at their brand new Tamashii Nations S.H. Figuarts Avengers Hulk from the 2012 film, from the New York incident, if you will, part of their recreation of the entire gang. The Hulk is my favorite. I have an affinity for the green guy and his plastic form, so I am very excited to add this version, which is, for me, actually is the most iconic film version as of this recording. And there hasn't really been a Marvel Legends figure that has kind of scratched that itch for this character, or Diamond Select for that matter, or anyone really, until this figure came along. So I'm really excited to take a look at this guy. He comes with some additional heads. It looks like we got some additional hands in there as well. You can see through the window some really great MCU Avengers art on the box, and it is a big box. And as you know, I am primarily a Marvel Legends collector, but what I do know about scale with these guys is the big guys from S.H. Figuarts, they tend to scale pretty well with the Marvel Legends, so we'll take a look once we get him into the light box. But on the back of the box, we have more of the toy art there, so you can see the different head sculpts, the different poses you can get the big green guy in. Same on the side, I love that grinning, hey Hulk, smash face. Yeah, it's great. So this is the Hulk Avengers Assemble edition. So without further ado, let's get this guy in the light box and take a closer look at Bruce Banner, the Hulk, Mark Ruffalo,
and Hulk. Smash.
All right, and here you have it. Here is your S.H. Figuarts Avengers 2012 Avengers Assemble Hulk out of the package. And before we get into the actual bad boy himself here, let's talk about his accessory set. So with the Hulk, you get 2 additional sets of hands than the ones that he has on, as well as 2 heads. So the first alternate head that you get here is a really nice super angry head. So you get a screaming head here. The paint and detail on it is fantastic. Mark Ruffalo's hair is very well captured there. The teeth are painted nicely. There's not it's not very messy. The tongue has a nice flesh color. You know, obviously matches the rest of the figure very well. A very good alternate head sculpt. And then the other one, which is actually my my second favorite head, the one that's on the Hulk right now is my favorite. But I really like the I guess we'll say like a grinning sort of head here. He's got a little bit of a smirk on. It reminds me of that face when Cap looks at him and says, you know, Hulk, smash. You know, he's got that little puny god grin on. So it's you know, another fantastic head. Again, you know, paint apps are really tight on it. There's a really nice wash through the hair, which we'll see on the other one as well. You know, teeth, eyes, eyebrows, wrinkles, everything is shaded and painted very, very nicely. Moving on to the actual Hulk body here himself, this figure is big. I mean, he's a big S.H. Figuarts figure. He's a big character, so therefore it works really well. The detail on him is fantastic. So he has a really nice paint application here. You know, with body hair and musculature and veininess, and he actually has kind of this rough a matte paint job on him, but a rough skin finish. So he actually has like a skin almost kind of like goosebump type texture to it. The muscle fibers, everything, you know, all the different muscle groups and categories across his back and his arms, inside and out, is fantastic. You know, into the neck, the shoulders, moving down into his magic pants that never seem to rip, or completely rip, I should say. You know, it's a really nice tattered sculpt there. There's a really fun rip just kind of like right along the seam. Absolutely love that. You know, the wrinkles, the belt loops, the actual like seams and everything. Just a really great job painting throughout. And, you know, same down through the feet. So that same skin texture, musculature, shading, veininess, it's just everything really pops on this figure. And then, of course, you know, as I mentioned in the actual head itself, it's a really good likeness of CGI Mark Ruffalo, of Mark Ruffalo Hulk. So there's a really nice kind of, I almost want to say like a gray, blue, like a slate wash on top of his hair, so it really gives his hair some texture and makes it pop. Into the articulation we go, and there is, as you'd expect there to be on an S.H. Figuarts figure, there is a ton of articulation here. So the neck has its own joint, so you can actually move the neck itself back and forth, and then of course, you know, the head gives you some extra tilt there. You know, you can tilt side to side a little bit, you can spin it around. Moving down, he has the double ab crunch, so Hulk can bend over pretty far, and he can bend back as well pretty far. And what's nice is the paint apps continue underneath, so, you know, even though you do kind of see those S.H. Figuarts gaps, you know, once you start, you know, really articulating this guy, the paint and detail really helps kind of sell the pose there, because it does continue underneath, even if you do see these big gaps once you do start articulating. Moving into the arms, we do have butterfly joints, so the Hulk can really get those arms forward and back. And like I said, you know, there are certain poses where they're going to have some, you know, uglier articulation where you can really see those ball joints, but you know, he's going to move like no other Hulk figure out there. We do have an upper bicep swivel. We have the double jointed elbow, and even with the muscles, he gets well beyond that 90-degree mark, which is fantastic. And then we do have hands. And actually, this is a good spot to pause, because I forgot to show you his extra hands, because they're super fun. So let's put him back here for a second, and let's just really quick before we move past that in the articulation, because 2 sets of additional hands. So we do get the normal, just kind of opened, grippy hands, but what's really cool is we get these hands. So you get an additional set of hands, and they are articulated themselves. So the thumb has a little bit of articulation there, and it can twist and swivel. And then you do get 2 sets of articulation there on the fingers. So you can kind of do like a pointing finger. You could do a full grip. You could do just kind of like A-okay. This is meant to pair with the Loki figure, so that way you can actually do the puny god slamming him around. We'll see if it works with the Marvel Legends Loki. I don't know if the grip's going to be tight enough on a heavier figure, but we will certainly try. So you get 2 of those, and you know, just to kind of show you really quick, the hands pop on and off super easy. You know, it's not difficult at all to change them. They simply just pop on and off like that. And then you can, you know, Hulk can be saying everything's A-okay. A-okay. All right, moving on. Down into his waist, he does also have the swivel back and forth. He can kick out forward, he can kick out sideways, but not back. You know, he does have a hard kind of like butt diaper, for the lack of a better word, that will prevent him from kicking back very far, but you know, you can easily make do with it. You do have an upper thigh cut there. The upper thigh cut is kind of tight. You're not going to be able to rotate all the way around with it. It does get kind of stuck, just based on the sculpting and the shape, but it's enough of an upper thigh cut to give you that kind of balance switch when you need to make him stand in different poses. You do get a double jointed knee, which will get you back pretty far. He's not going to kick himself in the butt. He's just too bulky for that. But the double jointed knee, again, is nice. It continues that sculpt throughout with the paint and detail, so fantastic job there. And then you do get a swivel and a pivot up and down on the foot, as well as the toe articulation. So this guy can very easily you know, get into some really cool poses very quickly. Has a great center of balance to him. In all the posing I've done with him so far, just kind of playing around, he has not fallen over a single time. He really is a very sturdy figure with tight joints, but not, you know, too tight that you can't articulate. It's just a very good Hulk figure. So now onto the actual size comparison. So this is my only S.H. Figuarts Hulk. I do not have any of the previous ones, so I can't show you how he scales with them. But I think more importantly, let me show you how he scales with some of his Marvel Legends counterparts. So we're gonna put him back there. First up, so Angry Hulk, right? Let's see how he looks next to the Marvel Legends. This was the Age of Ultron Hulk. Not the one that came with the Hulkbuster, but the Age of Ultron Hulk. And you can see the height is, they are almost as tall as each other. Yeah, almost as tall as each other. Obviously a lot more detail on the S.H. Figuarts Hulk, the matte paint job. It is a higher caliber figure, right? So there's your comparison there. Let's pull away the Age of Ultron Hulk and let's put him next to the Ragnarok Gladiator Hulk. And the Ragnarok Gladiator Hulk is significantly wider than this Hulk, but again, similar in height. He is very close to being the same height, almost the same height. And then lastly, the most recent MCU Hulk from the Hasbro Marvel Legends team here for height comparison, and this is Smart Hulk. He is the tallest of the Marvel Legends Hulks. As you can see, his head is actually slightly out of camera here. He is a little bit taller than this Hulk, which technically doesn't make sense because he is supposed to be smaller since he's kind of Banner and Hulk combined. That being said, you know, I think it's kind of a no-brainer here what the best Angry Hulk is. And you'll see, pull him this out one more time, and let's just put him in with some frames. So here he is with Avengers Iron Man. Here he is with Avengers MCU Thor. And let's do Black Widow. Here he is with Black Widow. Sun's getting real low. You can see he fits in really well with these. And here's the big selling point for me on this figure. Yes, it is more expensive than a Marvel Legends figure, but given the fact that it's the same size, it scales really well with the Marvel Legends figures, and the fact that you get these dynamic hands, dynamic head sculpts with it. None of the other Hulks that have come so far, with the exception of the Smart Hulk, who does have two head sculpts, none of them have swappable hands. Other than that one, none of them have swappable heads, and really the heads are, you go from kind of a neutral face to a grinning face. So this, you get some, you know, a little more dynamic range out of the heads you get. And on top of it, the Hulk figures have been Build-A-Figures pieces, which at this point are, you can't get them at retail. You're looking at aftermarket, so you're looking anywhere between, you know, $60 to $80 for the Build-A-Figure Hulk anyway. You know, you could probably get the Age of Ultron single-packed one, or the one that came with the Hulkbuster for a little bit cheaper, but ultimately, I think the better value here is the S.H. Figuarts one. It just is that Hulk from the 2012 Avengers film, and we really have not gotten a really great version of that Hulk yet from Hasbro. So this for me is definitely the Hulk that's going on display for you know, with the Avengers here. This is Hulk. This is my Hulk. This is the MCU Hulk. This is the quintessential one. It takes the Hulk-sized cake, if you will. So we're gonna cut and do one more quick comparison, and then let's wrap it up. So yeah, the last size comparison I wanted to show real quick before we cut to the wrap-up is with the Hulkbuster, the largest Marvel Legends hero figure to date so far. And he scales great with it. Veronica and the Hulk look like they're gonna square off, and the Hulk's probably gonna lose some teeth. So with that, let's flip it around, let's wrap it up, and yeah. Hulk smash! Yeah, this figure's great. This is great. This is definitely my favorite MCU Hulk at this point. And as you can see in the size comparisons, I think it works, man. I think it works if you're a Marvel Legends collector. I think this fills that void of Hulks. And honestly, like it may not be the 3D face printing that we're used to seeing on Marvel Legends, but this is Mark Ruffalo in the 2012 Hulk film, and it works. It's just so good. It's so good, and you're gonna see where I'm gonna do a picture in the Lightbox with the whole gang, with all the Avengers, at the end. So stick around for that. But this Hulk is currently still available on Amazon as of the recording of this video, so we'll include a link to him in the description below. Thanks again so much to our friends at Bluefin Brands, Bandai Namco Collectibles, for sending this guy out for review. We are super thrilled to have him and me to add to my Hulk collection. Make sure you're following Bluefin Brands on Instagram and Twitter. Make sure you subscribe to their YouTube channel, where they have live shows almost every Friday, where the Bluefin Brands gang goes through something topical. They have giveaways. It's a lot of fun, so make sure you subscribe to them. We'll include a link to that in the description below. While you're subscribing to things, make sure you hit the subscribe button down there for our channel, Adventures in Collecting. And while you're down there, hit that bell icon so that way you get notifications when we post a new video. While you're liking and subscribing to things, make sure you follow us here at AIC_podcast on Instagram and Twitter, where we're constantly posting toy news, toy reviews, toy photography, everything going on within the toy community. Last but not least, make sure you check out the podcast, Adventures in Collecting. You can find us wherever you find podcasts. Simply search for Adventures in Collecting, or hit the link in the description below, which will take you to our website, and you can find all of the things that I just mentioned. Stick around after the fade for some additional photos of the Hulk, like I mentioned here, and as always, stay angry. I mean, until next time.